All righty, let's get it on. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Brought to you by the Sportscast. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels to the Sportscast on all the channels: YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. If you like what you're hearing, what you see on the YouTube, please smash the like button, hit the notifications. You can hear all our shows. We have a playlist with the Jersey Boys Sports Talk and all our other exciting shows on the Sportscast. We also have, if you have Apple iTunes, you go to your podcast, the purple little icon, hit it, boom, subscribe to Jersey Boys Sports Talk, leave us a review, and it'll help us out tremendously. Also, we are on Spotify. Let's get ready to rumble, Mr. Byron Jones. Let's get it on. How you doing today?
Well, wonderful. I'm in the wonderful city of Atlantic City waiting for Memorial Weekend, the kickoff right here. So it's a lot of traffic already.
How was the traffic getting down there?
It's fine. I take the back way. I know the back routes through Jersey. So I took the back way down.
How long is it from you and from Pennsylvania?
Uh, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think
Oh,
that's
it's an hour and a half, 2 hours. How far is Atlanta City from Perth Amboy?
let's see, straight of the Parkway, probably about 60 miles, 70 miles, a little bit more maybe.
So it's about
Straight,
it's an hour and something away from Perth Amboy.
yeah, straight down the Parkway.
I thought you said 3 hours, an hour and a half hour.
Yeah, probably. Well, it depends on who's driving.
I always felt it was farther. I don't know why. All
Uh,
righty. And welcome to our show, Mr. Joey Bag of Donuts. He is the host of
The Donut Bag Podcast. Thanks
the
for having
Donut
me.
Bag Podcast. Awesome. All righty. And Joe, we can tell us a little bit about your show at the end of the show, but you welcome to our show. He's a regular guest here on our show, major Pittsburgh fan and football enthusiast. All right. So, Mr. Byron, the Giants, is you got a family connection or something? Because how is the Giants are practicing or scrimmaging with the Lions? It's
I don't
kind of
know.
ironic.
I guess you figure with my cousins, all of them are Detroit Lion fans up there. Now they have a really good team up there now. I guess maybe it's kind of rubbing off. Maybe they need once they win the Super Bowl, then they can talk. But until then, uh, yeah, I'm gonna still keep beating them upside the head because they haven't even sniffed the Super Bowl yet. They're close, but they're still out there. It's a really good team.
Well, I thought it was kind of, interesting how, we talk about it, your family members.
Cut now.
How about now?
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how they're actually scrimmaging with them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think was it here? I think it's here in New York, right? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe my cousin Derek come down. He'll come. We sit there, laugh about it. I can
Well,
poke
at
him.
least the Giants are scrimmaging against somebody. They can see what a good team looks like, or a team
Oh,
or a team that turned around what it looks like. What are you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about, man? Listen to me, man. When we started our podcast 5 years ago, you were a lot harder on the Giants than I am right now. But at least I got reason to be. You were hard right out the gate.
What do you expect, man? I'm a lot older than you. I'm saying, and I remember those times, man. The '70s, man. The '70s hurt. And the '70s was brutal, man. Being a Giant fan, having my father turn the TV off. The Giants, on Channel 2, and my father turned the game off, at halftime because the Giants would get swamped, and that happened every week. And then he would dare you to turn the TV back on. So, you know, this what they're going through right now is nothing compared to the '70s. The '70s was bad.
Well, I remember the show, their 1970s bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how bad they were in the 70s, but they're not looking real good right now.
Well, just think about how they look now, just older, black and white.
They ain't that old. They ain't
But
that
he
old.
was black and white in the 70s.
Nah, it wasn't black and white.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't black and white. Go back
I'm
and
pretty
look.
positive, dude. It was black and
Close.
white when I was in college.
Yeah, no films when we our 16 millimeter films that we
I'm talking about TV.
was covered. Man.
A lot of black and white TV still in the 70s. Oh,
It was
yeah, I
black and
remember.
white TVs in the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm trying not to age myself. Come on, man. Come on.
You don't remember that. All right. So what else is happening there? So we got any updates? Do we add any more receivers?
Now we already got like 19 receivers, but now they even, they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Darren Waller. Well, no, what he's trying to figure out what he's going to, is he going to retire? Is he going to come back? Darius Slayton is staying away from OTAs now because he wants to renegotiate his contract, even though he signed one last year. So he wants, a little bit more money. And, pretty much, that's it. Daniel Jones had a press conference pretty much saying that, he should be ready for, by the first game. So we'll see about it. He's saying he's gonna be ready.
Who?
We'll
Daniel Jones?
Yes. He's saying he's gonna be ready by game one. But that's not up to him, man. That's gonna be the medical staff, as far as make that determination if he's gonna be ready to go.
Yeah, but remember, didn't we talk last week? Joe, you weren't on the phone. Alex was, right? Didn't we talk last week that like he was supposed to be ready by like 3 weeks in, and we were like, I don't want him to start. The discussion we had last week, Joey, was we didn't want his first game to be against Micah Parsons. What are your thoughts on
Good
that?
point. Good point. Yeah. Yeah. He'll, as soon as he comes back, he'll go out again because Micah Parsons will take him out.
Yeah. Hold on a second. So I don't know if he called me. Shoot. Yeah, we did not want that to happen. So and we went over the last week's schedule with the Giants. So the schedule doesn't look so bad, but the first few games are pretty rough, no?
Yeah. Well, hey, the one thing that we did leave out is that Kansas City turned down coming there and making like a two-team scrimmage. They wanted Kansas City, Detroit, and the Giants. Kansas City turned it down.
Hold on a second. Hey guys, take over Byron for a second, all right? Excuse me 1 second. Commercial timeout.
But anyway, so the Giants, their offensive line, we were talking about that as far as Andrew Thomas is not, what they're doing 11-11. Andrew Thomas is not.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I did. Oh,
and
no.
the left guard has been.
Earlier or now?
Runyon, not Runyon, but the other guy. Yeah, Runyon.
Yes, no, I know who it is. Just did I by accident now or I called you earlier because I
right tackle is Evan Neal. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm doing. I have a sports podcast.
How was Pittsburgh?
No, I just want to make sure you got the docu-sign.
How different is the offensive line going to be compared to last? Is it the same line from last year?
No,
it kind of looks like it.
No, they signed a bunch of free agent offensive linemen. It's probably a new left and right guard. If Evan Neal, the right tackle, the guy that was the 7th-player pick in the draft, if he doesn't come around, they're going to replace him because they signed the left tackle or right tackle with the Raiders. They signed it. They also have new offensive line coach they got from the Raiders. So supposedly he's supposed to work miracles with these guys. But it's going to be a completely different line except for the center, JMS, Smith, and Andrew Thomas is the other starting left tackle right now. But yeah, it's going to be a big.
So you have Andrew Thomas at left tackle, John Runyon at left guard,
Yep.
that Elemenor at right guard, and
Right.
Evan Neal at right tackle.
Yes.
Okay.
So supposedly, and they brought up during meeting as far as if Evan Neal doesn't work out to move him inside the guard, and I go back and forth with this with Giant fans on the Facebook thing, man, all the time. And being like a 6'7", 335-pound or 340-pound guard, he's tall, and that would be issues for quarterbacks as far as trying to throw over this guy.
Right.
By him playing guard now, moving a guard, it's less of an area for him to cover because I don't think he has the speed to play right tackle in the NFL. At SEC, when he played Alabama, he was just so much bigger and better than everybody else that he could just swallow him up. And now, since he's got the NFL with the speed is so much different as far as these guys come around the corner that he just most of the time the guy just runs around him, and that's been his biggest problem. And if you move him to guard, it'd be like, big dude, like in a phone booth. He might succeed there. That they've taken guys that are 6'7", 6'8", and whatever, put them in guard, and it's just they're huge in there. And then it's less thing for him to have to worry about because playing guard, you have the center on one side, and you got the right tackle. If you screw up, but when
Yeah.
you're on the island by yourself, at right tackle, left tackle, right now he's 3 years in. If you ever watched it, this old man is brutal.
It seems like when
Is that him or me, Joe? Everybody's fine.
what?
Okay. Hey, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
I switched. I got my headsets. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna see what happens with the scrimmage. And with that, we get some things. We got some of the Giants, and I think that I think Detroit's going to be good. I think it's a good team to watch. They're young, and maybe they see some of the things that they can be. Right? Because I think if it was me playing for the Giants, playing against Detroit, I want to see what happens to turn them around. Right? They're still a good team.
Yeah, but you have both of them are the fourth year of a 4 year program, and how is it? I brought up this 1,000 times. How is it that the Detroit Lions have gotten better and better and better the last 3 years? They're right on the doorstep. The Giants, for some reason, they got up to year 3, with Dable, and now, we're getting ready to do it over again.
They're, Detroit's got better. Detroit's got better position players.
Right.
Okay.
That's why they get the better players.
Yeah,
they got better position. They're running backs, they're receivers. I mean, just globally, they just got better.
And how they do that?
Their quarterback is good.
Mostly through the draft.
Yes.
Mostly they just drafted really well.
Yeah, but look what they focus on. They got Jared Goff. The Rams threw him on the scrap heap. First Stafford. So you got a quarterback. Then they built Penny Sewell, a right tackle. They built their line up. Then they went and got a running back. Then they went and got a wide receiver. Then they went on the other side with defense. They got Hutchinson on defense. And then they started working with the corners. And look at every step. They built, and they surrounded Goff with weapons for him to succeed. Not what the knuckleheads, what we've done with the Giants as far as got Daniel Jones, Barkley left, offensive line stays. The only thing they've done, like with Brian Burns, the outside linebacker, Carolina, who they traded for, so they're doing it all kind of backwards.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just look at their receiving group. They got good running backs. I'm just looking at the roster now. Their defense is pretty good. I mean, they're pretty rounded. I mean, they did this all built around where Byron. So I know the way you're describing it, but that's where they started. Did they go in that order? I thought they had some key pieces. Jared Goff was one. I thought he was going to do well there.
And then they drafted Sewell after him to build up the line. And they worked up, free agency. They built the line. Then they drafted Jamar Gibbs, running back. And they got a receiver, Jameson Williams, I think the kid's name from Alabama. Even though they had the one that just signed for a ton of money for 120 million. I can't think of the guy's name. Brown? Is it the same Brown? Yeah, is it the same Brown?
Amon-Ra St. Brown, yeah.
Yeah. They already had him, so they signed him to a ton of money. They have a good tight end. And they drafted well. For the last 3 years, Detroit really has drafted that well. They had Jared Goff first, and then they built around him, and he's
so they had back-to-back good quarterbacks. So it's not like they had Stafford. Some of the pieces, so they're working with Stafford as much.
For what?
I'm just saying that they went from a good quarterback to another good young quarterback.
Yeah,
but Jared Goff wasn't considered good.
No,
he got a lot better when he got to Detroit.
Yeah.
Wait a second. He was a first-round pick.
Who was it?
Goff was.
He was the first player picked.
Yeah, but he didn't play that well with the Rams. The Rams basically threw him in to that trade. He was like a throwaway part of that. It wasn't like he was, one of the better. It wasn't until he got to Detroit where he really started putting up good numbers. And
Even
it's
the
like you
number
said,
one pick is still a talent. You can't take away that it was a number one pick. He had the talent.
you're cutting in and out.
Yeah, you're coming in and out there.
Man, just saying. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hmm.
He was the number one pick, right? So at the end of the day, he still had the pick. He had the tools. It was doing well over there or not. You traded for number one pick to another number one pick. He had that. They already had some pieces. They weren't a
So you're definitely fading in and out. Hello.
I can hear you, Byron. I can't hear
I
Victor.
can't hear him at all. But anyway, let's.
Well, to your point, that's an excellent point because they built around
Better.
him. We just heard you for a second.
All right. Taking
There you
everything off. So, acapella. Let's go. What's happening in Pittsburgh? We're getting a lot of rumblings here. Why are they talking about? I don't know. All right, is Tomlin addressing what the news is saying about, you know, how it's going to play out with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, right? Am I going to look bad by saying what I said, that I feel like that first year it's Russell Wilson's, he's the starter, period, right? And then just grooming this guy. He's like 11 years younger or something. He's got a lot of years under Russell Wilson. So why are they talking all this stuff in the media?
As of the plan right now is for Russell Wilson to start and be the starter all year. And I think because they have Russell Wilson on a 1 year deal and they have Justin Fields on a 1 year deal, so they don't know what's going to happen next year. So that's the plan that they're going to. The way Tomlin said it is Russell Wilson is in the pole position. And I think they really want Russell Wilson to be the starter this year and Justin Fields just to be the backup. So we'll see what happens, but at least that's the plan right now is for Russell Wilson to be the guy.
Which is what we said, but the news making other things about it.
Well,
Right.
they talked to Justin Fields this week, and he said, "Well, I'm not just here to be the backup. I want to be a starter too." But that's every player in the NFL wants to be a starter. That's nothing new. So I mean, that really what people are making a big deal out of that. But he's just saying what every player wants to do. No player wants to be a backup. Every player wants to be the star. They want to be the starter. So, that's just what he said. But the plan is definitely This is Russell Wilson's team.
Right. I'm just curious for him to say that. It kind of sparks up the media to see if there's a quarterback controversy, right?
Right.
He could have said, like, I want to be a starter, this and that, but I'm here, to play my position, do the best interest of the team, right? He could have said that.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson has come out saying, hey, they get along, they're working together. He's never said anything else. Russell Wilson's been stand up, from my understanding.
Oh, he's been great. He's been great so far. He says all the right things. So far, his time in Pittsburgh has been great, but then again, he hasn't thrown any passes yet. So, it could be all talk. So we'll see.
I don't want them to do him 30 like Justin Fields. A couple of weeks ago they were talking about putting them, to use them like kind of like a slash, put him out there for gimmick plays and kick return and stuff. The dude is a quarterback. Let him work on his craft quarterback and just don't put him at harm's risk. Put him at kick returner and running plays and wide receiver and stuff like that. Let him work on his craft. If Russell doesn't succeed, he's next man on deck.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a very interesting situation because Russell Wilson, he's old. I think he's 35 or 36, and he's had a couple failures the past few years. So, the question is, can he still do it? And then Justin Fields, his time in Chicago did not go well. He did do some good things, but still overall, I mean, the Bears gave him away for nothing. So, there's a lot of questions about both these guys. I think it would help Justin Fields to be just sit for a year and watch how things are going, and maybe because he needs it. There's no doubt that Justin Fields can run. He is a amazing athlete. And if you just put him back there and just run the whole time, he would be fine there. But you also have to pass. And that's where his problem is. And that's where he needs to learn behind Russell Wilson, learn a new system, learn it with a new team, and become a better quarterback. So hopefully he could sit back, watch, learn a little bit, and then become a better quarterback.
He's not on his 5th-year option, is he? I don't think he is.
They declined his 5th-year option.
Uh,
He would have made if they accepted the 5th-year option, he would have made like 25 million. And that's a big gamble. so they decided to not exercise that option. So really they just have Justin Fields for this year and they have Russell Wilson for this year. So who knows what's going to happen next year? I mean, who knows what's going to happen this year? But right now, both those guys are just on 1-year deals.
They'll draft another quarterback next year.
Probably.
No, I think I don't know. I have faith in Tomlin. He's done it with way less talent than at the quarterback position than he's had right now.
Yeah. Their quarterback position last year was horrible, and they went to a 10-7 record and went to the playoffs.
Ever since Ben left.
Yes, it has. You're right.
And
right.
He's never lost a season.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, he's done pretty well with that. So, having those two guys, I think is a coup. And they picked up some other receivers.
They picked up some receivers, but
around the process.
Yeah, but the receivers, I mean, they did draft someone, Roman Wilson, in the 3rd round this year, but there's still a big question about the receivers. The receivers they got are kind of like number 3 and number 4 guys. They're not a 1 or a 2, so that's a bit of a concern what they're going to do there. They don't know if they're going to get somebody and that's going to be cut, or if they're going to trade for someone. But that's the talk of. They're probably going to get somebody else.
Antonio Brown's looking for a job.
He needs the money. So yeah.
Who's that?
Antonio Brown. He declared bankruptcy.
Antonio Brown. Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy. And he lost 30 million by messing up with the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
Correct. He made $88 million in his NFL career, and they say right now his assets are like $50,000.
Right.
Victor, he didn't give you a call, man.
Man, I'm just having
He should have. He should have called you.
Everything is not.
So is the host for now.
He's gone.
Ah.
so many technical difficulties today.
But anyway, let's talk about that Darnell Washington, a big giant tight end.
Oh, that is really interesting. So the talk is it doesn't really matter who your wide receivers are, because this is going to be a run heavy offense that's going to really feature the offensive line, the running backs, and the tight ends. And their number 1 tight end is Pat Freiermuth, who's more of a pass catcher. But then you have this Darnell Washington, who's about, I don't know, 7-8 foot tall. The guy is a mountain of a guy. And I don't understand when you have a guy that's that. I'll find out exactly how tall. When you have a guy that's that tall and that big, how do you not just throw to him? He's 6 foot. He's almost 6'7", 264 pounds, and runs a 4.6 40. How do you not just hit him all the time? Because he's just such a big target. He's such a big, tall guy. Like, why don't you just throw it to him all the time in short yardage?
Well, he's kind of like no, Gronkowski was about that size.
Yeah, I think he was bigger than Gronk.
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7", because they always listed that kid at like 300 pounds when he was playing at Georgia. I don't think he was playing. I don't think he was 300 pounds. But then again, you never know how big he really was.
Well, his strength is blocking. He's supposed to be a really good blocker, and he really needs to develop his pass catching side. Well, then this is his second year, so hopefully he is developing into a better pass catcher. But even not, he's a he's a great blocker. He's like having another offensive lineman out there. So yeah, I think he's going to have a good year. I don't know if he's going to have a good year in terms of like catches and stuff. We'll see about that. But he's going to be on the field a lot because they're going to play a lot of 2 tight end sets, and they're going to run a lot.
And what do they always say? They always say that a quarterback's best friend is a tight end.
That's right. That's right. Safety blanket. Yeah.
Always. When in doubt, throw to the middle field to the biggest guy in the field.
Check down to throw to the big guy.
Defensively, how are they going to do?
Defensively, they were about the same as last year, except they picked up Patrick Queen from the Ravens. So I think they're going to be really good. They were good defensively last year. As long as TJ Watt can stay healthy, I think they're going to have a really good defense this year.
The corner is Porter, right?
Corner is Joey Porter Jr. He was a rookie last year, really good. They don't know who's going to be opposite him on the other cornerback. So that's something that's yet to be determined. But Joey Porter Jr., he in his rookie year, he turned into a shutdown corner. He had a really good rookie year.
Did they draft a corner, or they're just going to go with what they got?
They really didn't draft a corner, so they just have a bunch of dudes, and they're gonna see what happens. Basically, it's just
put it in the bag, shake the bag.
Exactly. You throw it out there, you see what happens. We'll see.
Kind of like the Giants, but they got like 19 wide receivers.
Exactly.
The linemen. They got a whole bunch. They got a 10 or 50. They got they signed. Well, you figure like the number 90 or 100. The max. And whatever the max is, they went to the max with everything. And let's get to the Pittsburgh hosting the what is it?
The draft.
Yeah.
In 2026. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be there. I know I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be exciting. There's gonna be like 1 million people in downtown Pittsburgh. I think it's like the biggest event ever in the city of Pittsburgh. There's never going to be that many people in the area at one time. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, more than a Super Bowl. I mean, with the parades for a Super Bowl.
Well, more, yeah. When there were parades for a Super Bowl, I think they got like 100,000 people or something like that. But I think for this, at least for when they just had the one in Detroit, I think they said they had like 750,000 people.
Yeah, because my cousin them said they got so bad.
It's horrible.
They closed off the trains, and they shut down like a lot of the trains to get down there because that just packed with people. Is Pittsburgh going to have that issue? As far as like, too much.
There's the thing is, it's very pretty with all the rivers and the bridges and stuff, but it also restricts where you could go. So there's only so much space, and we still don't know where is going to be the stage, where is everybody going to be, where how is this all going to work out.
You guys have hotels, enough hotels?
We'll see. I mean, this will be the biggest
Super Bowl ever been played in Pittsburgh?
No.
Okay.
This will be the biggest event ever in the city of Pittsburgh, so we have no idea whether
remember what happened to Jacksonville for the Super Bowl. Like the Super Bowl will not put it back in Jacksonville again until they build the infrastructure. They had to bring in cruise ships for people to stay.
I believe it.
See, but the difference with Pittsburgh, though, when in doubt, raise the bridge. You can restrict, the amount of people coming in and out.
Byron,
raise the bridge.
Byron, think about what you just said.
Dude, I'm just letting you know from a tactical point.
Byron, why? How is that tactical? Tactical is not preventing people from coming in. If that was the case, they would have not allowed the cruise ships to come in. They would have stopped. They didn't do that. They want the money.
No, they're not gonna do that. If they got too many people coming in, they will. I'm just letting you know as far as like law enforcement side, you just raise the bridge. That way you can restrict how many people are coming over there. Because
Dude, I understand what can be done, Byron,
yes,
but they could have restricted people coming into Jacksonville by not bringing in the cruise ships, and they didn't do that. So
no,
they're not going to restrict people coming in. They want more people coming in.
if they get too many people, they won't let them in. Dude, they did it. No, man, they did it in Detroit. They closed down some of
Detroit
the
had
camps.
almost 200-some thousand people for the draft.
No, it was more than that.
We'll see.
That's
We'll
my
see,
point.
yeah.
That's
Well, we
not
should go, Byron. I wouldn't mind going to Pittsburgh.
Come on down.
that's a possibility.
That's not bad. We could go there. We could do the.
Wait a minute. Wait, first I need to know is it going to be cold?
Well, it's not gonna be that cold. It's in
End
April.
of April, probably not. But there's a chance it might be a little chilly.
Yeah.
I ain't doing cold.
What do you care? Oh my! Oh, he talks about me softening up.
You're
He
in
didn't want to go to
Pennsylvania
Kansas
too. What are you
City.
talking about?
Dude,
Exactly.
you try to get me to go to Kansas City, and it was like 2 degrees out there. What are you crazy? I'm not going out there in the cold. I can stay here.
No, it wasn't the Dolphin game. It was Kansas City versus Giants. It wasn't that cold that time.
What?
It was Kansas City versus Giants, so it wasn't.
What was the temperature out there? It was below zero, right?
I don't know if it was below. I don't think so.
It was below 32.
It was below 32.
I ain't going.
Okay, and he talks to me that I gotten soft since I moved to Florida.
You move the whole idea is not to go to the cold. I can stay here and be cold. I don't need to get in a plane or a car, or a bus, or submarine, or whatever.
I heard I would like to go to Pittsburgh. I've never been to Pittsburgh. I heard nothing but good things about it.
It's a wonderful city.
Yeah, I heard good things about it. Well, I'm excited about that. What do you think about Tua turning down his contract?
Everybody else is getting paid. Why not? He wants to get paid.
That's a gamble.
Yeah. With him, yeah, but that's what any of them quarterbacks do.
Byron, I made you the host. I'm gonna log out and come back in and see if it does something with my stuff. I don't know what's going on with the internet. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. All right. You're the host, so I'm gonna get out and come back in.
Oh, you're killing me. All right.
Go start.
But anyway, you figure, okay, everybody's saying, with Tua, with his injury history and everything, but Joe Burrow got paid, and he's just nobody says anything about him. He gets hurt constantly too.
Yeah, but there is no doubt that Joe Burrow is one of the top 5 quarterbacks. I can understand paying him whatever he wants. Tua, that is a gamble. Yeah, he had a pretty good year last year, but I mean, that was one of the few years that he's been healthy, and I don't know. I don't know if I was Tua, whatever they offer me, I would just accept and
Well, I'm going to be the Joe Burrow hater. Let's see. He tore up his knee one year. Then it was his wrist or his hand. That's 2. And he missed a lot of time because of that. So, and they had already paid him all that money that he got. But he's not available either.
You talk about we talked about Detroit a little while ago, and what did Detroit do? They had a chance to get Penny Sewell or Jamar Chase. Remember, that was the big choice. Do you get the wide receiver or do you get the tackle? They chose the tackle, and I remember, and the Bengals chose the wide receiver. And I remember people criticizing the Lions, saying, "What are you doing? You need a wide receiver. Why didn't you get a wide receiver? Why did you take the tackle?" Well, now look at it now. Jared Goff, very good quarterback, hardly ever gets hurt. Joe Burrow gets lousy offensive line, gets hurt all the time. There you go. Now what's more important? Now who's looking bad? Yeah, Joe Burrow, you're right. He gets hurt a lot, and they basically threw away the entire year last year. And yeah, he has a lot to prove. But so does Tua.
Yeah, but Tua, okay, he's kind of a small quarterback, but we can admit he's not a big guy at all. Being left-handed, that's another kind of disadvantage. When you're forming an opposite line, because now your right tackle, has to be, your point of attack as far as your strength of your line. So they went out and got all these receivers, figuring he can get rid of the ball, quickly, which he does. But then he gets hurt. But with these quarterbacks now, they're all getting paid regardless, whatever they got going on. Even Daniel Jones, they're killing him in New York. He's getting 42 million or whatever. That seems like a bargain now because now Lamar, Jackson, and Justin with Herbert, all these guys are in the 54, $55 million. So the Giants getting Daniel Jones at a bargain at 42 or 47 is a bargain. But Tua's got to do what's best for his family.
Tua, people criticize Tua for being injury prone. In 2021, he played 13 games. 2022, 13 games. 2023, 17 games. That's pretty good as far as being healthy. And he puts up good numbers. Last year, 29 touchdowns, 4,600 yards. 2022, 25 touchdowns, 3,500 yards. He puts up the numbers. So I would totally, and it's not his fault. That's how they construct a team. They construct a team to be a warm weather team. So if they played their important games in Miami, then they're fine. If they hosted playoff games in Miami, they would be fine. But the problem is they got to go to Buffalo in January, and that's where they get killed. They're in a division with Buffalo, New York, and New England, all cold weather cities.
Yeah, I guess they didn't think about that when they constructed a team down
Exactly.
there. Right? So whose fault is it? Is it the general manager's fault?
It's the general manager and the coach, but not Tua's.
No, and he's going to just, and they let a lot of players go on defensively. They lost a lot. Then they had a lot of guys got hurt. Toward the end of the season, Phillips and Bradley Chubb and all these guys. Then Christian Wilkins left and went to, I think he went to the Raiders. And, they had a lot of pieces are missing. And now it's like, okay, we signed OBJ. That's their one big signing. And you haven't really heard anything else.
That's the thing. They're already they kind of had their chance last year and they blew it. Now they've already started losing people. They're already going to be not as good as last year. And they haven't even paid Tua yet. Wait till they pay Tua $50 million a year. What's that going to do to their salary cap? What's that going to do? They're going to have to get rid of more people. Their window might already be closed.
Well, let's see. Buffalo's going to take a step back because they got Diggy left, part of the receiving core. They got the one kid is funny, the Keon Coleman. He's a pretty funny kid.
I love that kid. He's so funny.
When he's sitting there talking about the code and all this other stuff, yeah, he's going to be different. The only team that really kind of sort of stayed the same and might get a little better is the Jets. As far as
maybe.
Victor, hold on. Yeah. How do I let you in, man? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Participants. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. There you go. Admit. All right. Gotcha. There you go. All right. Goodbye. You got it?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the Jets. What were we talking about? The Jets?
We were, yeah. I think the Jets are. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to sink that team. Either he's going to get hurt or it's just going to be a disaster. I mean, he's what, 40 years old or something like that. Like he might already be over the hill.
Yeah, but they're a win like right now team. Some of the things that they've done as far as they did shore up their offensive line. But with Tyron Smith and a couple, 2 or 3 other, pieces, the defense is already a top 5 defense. That's guaranteed. But all they got to do, and we talked about it, I think we talked about it last week, is just let him keep him upright. And hope he doesn't get hurt.
Why do you think he's going to sink the team, Joey?
Either he's going to get hurt or all of the circus around him is going to get out of hand. If they struggle with Aaron Rodgers, that could be that could really ugly. It just seemed, I mean, he's how old is Aaron Rodgers? He is
40.
probably I'm guessing. Yeah, he's 40 years old.
Like, and they probably
40
turned
years old
41
is
during the season.
ancient for a quarterback.
Yeah,
That just has a lot. Yeah, it could be successful. This could be the Jets' year. Could be the year they bring it all together and all that stuff. Or it could be another disaster.
yeah, but look what they did with the schedule. I think they got like 6 primetime games, the Jets.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh.
so the NFL went, they pushed it all the way, hoping, that he's going to be available, for the season because he is Aaron Rodgers.
They're banking on it.
They're banking on it. Yep.
I mean, you got to admit, I mean, come on, you can't say that you don't want to see him play.
I want to see him play. I think it'll be really interesting, but I think there's a good chance it could go south.
What's that mean go south? What goes south?
Either he gets hurt or he is just the team loses. He does not play well. He could be over the hill. He could be too old. And then if that happens, the team was already had a bunch of turmoil from last year. It could get much worse. That team could just blow up. And this is New York we're talking about. Every little thing is scrutinized like crazy. I'm just saying it could go south.
Yeah. And Robert Saleh, love him as a coach, but yeah, he's living on borrowed time too. If they don't win, uh, out the door, him and the general manager, because of all the things that they've done to put him at that point. So they both could be done together.
He seems like a really good guy and a good coach, but he's in an impossible situation right now. Basically, that's Aaron Rodgers' team, and so
And they made it like that.
they
Like,
did. They
you
gave
know,
him the team.
Here, let's get one of your buddy receivers. Let's get this other buddy receiver. They brought all these guys in,
Bringing all your friends. Yep.
and it did not work out at all for him or them. By him getting hurt, as quick as it's not his fault, but just getting hurt as fast as he did.
Well, I think the only thing that's going to go wrong, if it goes wrong, would be him getting hurt. I think if he plays, he's going to play well. I don't think there's anything to doubt a guy like that. I just don't. I don't think he's going to play bad. I think he's from an inside source that I have. When they saw him practice, they said he was light heads and shoulders above anybody else they've ever seen, like at that level play. He was sharp. He was crisp. He had command. The team listened to him. Like, he controls a lot. And I think he's got a lot to prove. So the X factor is his health in that line. But I'd like to see, look, I don't want to see a guy like Aaron Rodgers, even though he bothered me in his last 2 years in Green Bay. I do not, as a sports fan, as a sports podcast host, I don't want to see him go out injured. I really don't. I'd like to see him go out on the field. Now, how that looks, no matter what, I still want to see him go out on the field. I want to get a year's where I was excited last year.
Stop being a sellout Jet fan.
I'm not a Jet fan. I wanted to see what he can do leaving to another team.
Come on, man.
A guy with his talent. I mean,
come on, Joe. Come on.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Who?
No, I mean we were robbed.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is the surefire Hall of Famer. We were robbed last year because the Jets were supposed to be good, and when Aaron Rodgers went out, we were stuck with Zach Wilson and the worst quarterback play we've ever seen in history.
That's Byron's number one pick.
Leave my guy alone.
That's why he's choking. That's why Byron's joking. That was his number one pick, boy. He knows I'll never let him go on that one. He had all these aspirations on Zach Wilson. Zach got to be the best.
Zach Wilson got a raw deal.
He got all this stuff he said with Zach Wilson. I'm like,
he got a raw deal, man. The Jets.
Huh?
He got a raw deal.
Yeah, the Jets got a raw deal.
Well, he did too, man. They did do it.
Every time I see that word, Byron's face changes, boy. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I want to see him. I want to see him play. I like to see the Jets be able to compete in the AFC, and I think it will be good. Again, my internet was having a bad time. It happens to be a week like that, but Tua turning that down, his contract down, is pretty interesting. I mean, for a guy who's only played one full season,
Well, when you were not available, Joey pulled up a whole bunch. He's been available like a lot more than you think he has.
Yeah, he didn't play a full season, but he played 13 games in 2022, 13 games in 2021. So, almost a full season. And last year was 17 games.
did he
was the
play?
playoffs.
Did he play all the full game, 13 games, or he was in and out for those 13 games?
I don't know. I don't know. Um,
It's interesting.
in
If he
in
played 13 games,
2023
if
he had
he played 13
560
games,
attempts. In 2022 he had 400. In 2021 he had 388. So he did play a significant
about
amount.
2023
For what?
and last year, how many have last year?
He had 17 games, 560 pass attempts.
And the year before?
Year before it was 13 games, 400 pass attempts.
That's pretty close. That's saying he played. I mean, he because he threw the ball last year.
And when you're not available again, we brought up Joe Burrow that he's been hurt too, just as much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more actually.
Joe Burrow took him to the Super Bowl.
But he's been hurt. And what has he done for them lately? He's been hurt.
Took him to the Super Bowl.
But did they win?
When he was healthy.
Took him to the Super Bowl. That doesn't matter. He took him to the Super Bowl.
And when he took him to the Super Bowl, he beat Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs.
Yes.
And not too many people can say they could beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
Tom Brady.
Oh, well, he's he's in a retirement home right now.
No, he's in the broadcast booth, and he got who's the tight end that Greg Olsen. He got his salary cut by 2/3, man.
Yeah, that's rough.
10 to 3 million, man.
Byron, you were talking about how the NIL was going to affect college football because the guy next to him was making $6 million and you're not making nothing. Imagine being in the booth and your salary got cut by 67%, and the guy next to you is still making 300% more than you were at your full salary. He's making like $37 million a year.
Yeah, 37 million a year.
And Olsen's got cut from like almost 10 down to 3.
I think he's gonna suck as a announcer too. I think he's gonna be bad.
But how do you announce next to him? Is Greg also gonna be talking with him?
No, he's with a different team. They have like different, the A team and the B team. He's gonna be B team.
Who, Olsen?
Yeah, but I could be together now. Because I know I wouldn't. I'd be sitting next, like you said. But what? He making 10 million? I ain't saying nothing. I'd sit there the whole game.
You just sit there with your arms crossed. Like, I'm not talking.
That's hilarious.
Ask him. What he said.
Ask Mr. $37 million. Only his opinion matters.
That's right. I wouldn't say a word.
I think he's going to be great. Didn't Phil Simms and Boomer retire?
No, they got fired.
You think they got fired?
Well, fired/retired.
Who's replacing those two guys?
Who knows?
It'd
be two guys we've never even heard of before.
I liked Phil Simms and Boomer.
Yeah, his son is pretty good too at it.
Who?
Chris Simms.
Chris Simms.
Oh, really? But he's not going to be taking his dad's place.
He couldn't go home then if he had to take his dad's spot.
Yeah, really.
All right, man. We're going to wrap this up. We're just having those internet technology days. Usually it's Byron. That's why we're on Zoom, and I'm having internet problems. Joey, tell us about your show and how our fans can hear it.
Done a bag. Mondays at 7. Talking Steelers. Lots to talk about. Yeah, all Steelers all the time.
And it's on when? Mondays at 7?
Mondays at 7, yep.
7 p.m. Eastern?
Yes.
Right. All righty. Well, Byron, are you going to gamble? What do you do in Atlantic City?
Oh, man, I go to Carmine.
Oh, really?
There you go, my man, Carmine.
And then do what? And what else?
Nothing.
Walk around.
Hey, have you ever been to Cape May, the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Walked up that thing?
I don't think I've been to the lighthouse. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I walked up the other day all 200 stairs.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was gonna die.
Wow.
Was it worth the view?
I just want to go up this. Dude, it's windy up there too. I didn't realize how windy is up that high. And I'm like, yeah, this was a good idea, man, because it's got like 6 levels.
And
Yeah, it's
coming
like-
down is just a pain as well.
It was easier coming down. It was going
Of course,
up.
it's easier, but it's not easy walking down 200 steps.
Yeah, but when you go up, it has like different levels. You know, there's 6 levels till you get to the top. You know, the lighthouse. So I sit there, man, I must have stopped like 900 times. Like, man, my legs are killing me, man.
They right behind you.
Well, the stairs aren't that wide, man. So it's wide load. So if other people coming up behind you or coming down, you got to step like they have like this little.
Oh no!
And you got to step to the side and let them pass. Because the guy said if you just walk straight up, it'll take about 10 minutes. Man, that was the longest 10 minutes of my life.
It was that crowded though?
No, not really. No. I got the veterans discount too. It cost me $8 to get that thing.
Oh my God, $8 to almost get out of gas.
Just almost killed myself walking up all them stairs. Yeah. And hey, Victor, all I can think of, man, if I fall down these things, man, the poor ambulance guy got to come up there and get me, man. It's gonna be a
they're gonna have to get a pulley and pull you down.
No,
you probably can't even fit through that little window.
Giant crane.
No, it'd be a bigger crane than that. It'd be a big crane. And all I can think of, like some of the ambulances have like those little, like the chairs they put you in. And I'm sitting there like, ain't no way, no ambulance guy is gonna lug me down all them stairs. Ain't happening.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. Cape May is nice though. Joe, have you ever been to Cape May? It's like
I've very briefly went to Cape May. Wildwood was my spot. Always went to Wildwood every year.
There's an ordinance on all the houses. They have to be there are certain specifications, certain colors, certain things. Like they keep it pretty sound, like Cape May. So it's actually pretty cool. It's a little one, but it's cool. All righty. Well, thank you for joining our show. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Byron, be safe driving back, you and your wife. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget to tune in, subscribe to all our channels on the Sportcast, YouTube, Spotify. We're on streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, Stitcher. Please join us next week, Thursday, 8 p.m., where we have better technical. What time, Byron? 8 p.m., all 5 fingers. 8 p.m., where we're going to continue with the preseason, talk about more. We'll get a little bit more technical stuff, get more detailed. I apologize on my part, but we will get together. Gentlemen, you have a nice night. Don't forget, 8 p.m., Jersey Boys Sports Talk, Monday, 7 p.m., Joey, chock full of
Monday,
donuts.
7 p.m. Eastern.
Monday, 7 p.m., donut bag. All right. God bless. Have a great night. See you later. Peace.